Hi guys, JazzieNerd here. And this is the new LP on the channel. Jazzie plays Magic Duels. If you watch my update from 2 days ago, I literally decided to do this 2 days ago. So I am very, very, very excited. I got into Magic the Gathering about a month and a half ago. And I really, really, really enjoy the game. I really do. It's a lot of fun. The lore is incredibly well put together and also very, very, very complex. And, well, I actually started to learn the game by watching someone else's LP of this game, Magic Duels. And I thought, you know what? Dang it, I want to play some of this on the channel. So we're gonna play some of this on the channel. Story mode!
Magic is power. It has the capacity to create and destroy, manipulate and transform. It can shatter the very laws that govern each world. The infinite planes of the multiverse are home to countless mages. Yet for all their mastery over their craft, they are each bound to their own planes of reality, blind to the true vastness of the multiverse. But some mages are born with a potential for more. The spark, this gift, realized only upon facing a great ordeal. Once ignited, it allows the mage to travel between planes and draw from each plane's magic to reach heights of power otherwise impossible to achieve. They can begin their journey as a planeswalker.
Oh my gosh, I love magic. Unfortunately, we have to start with tutorials. I didn't want to have to sit through all these tutorials, but I think we're going to have to, ladies and gentlemen. Because the game forces you to, and let's face it, there's probably some of you watching who have never played Magic, or maybe never even heard of Magic the Gathering. So as much as I don't want to do it, this is a really good place to start. Play skill quest. This is going to be completely redundant for me, but I suppose it's a good idea because there are some parts of Duels that are different from paper Magic. So, let's do this, I guess. Loading screens. Still, all the loading screens in this game are card art. And let's face it, the reason I wanted to get into Magic is crazy cool looking card art.
Welcome to Magic Duels. You are a planeswalker, a powerful
I hate
mage
this tutorial voice.
dueling across the
I feel like
myriad
she's
worlds
talking to me
of
like
the
I'm retarded.
multiverse. Your story starts with these skill quests, challenges designed to hone your skills and prepare you for combat. If you'd like to replay a skill quest, you can do so from the Help and Options
No
menu.
idea
Each
why I
player
would
starts
wanna
with a
replay.
shuffled deck of cards called a library.
I'm just
Your
gonna let her
library
talk
contains
and
the
try
creatures
ignore the
and
fact that
other
it feels like
spells
she's
you'll
talking to me
need
like I'm
to
retarded.
defeat your foe.
I also don't like the word foe.
Each turn, you draw a card from your library into your hand. Only you can see the cards in your hand.
Unless, you know, you're intentionally playing open hand because you don't know what you're doing. My first 2 games of Magic were open hand.
You win the game by reducing your opponent's life total from 20 to 0.
Your opponent's life total is not always 20. There are formats where it's 40. There are battles in this game where it's 40 or even 100.
Zoom in on any card by moving the cursor over it and scrolling the mouse wheel up. Try it now. While zoomed in on a card, you can learn more about its abilities in the More Info box on the right. Zoom out by scrolling the mouse wheel down to complete this skill quest.
Okay, so basically,
Good job. You can
That
zoom
was
in
the
on
skill
cards
quest?
anywhere
Seriously?
to learn more about them.
okay, that was the first skill quest. Just looking at our cards. Why do I feel like this game
In
was
this skill
designed?
quest,
I'm-
you'll learn how to
I need
attack
to
with your
relax
creatures
and
to
stop
reduce
being
your
so
opponent's life
irritable.
total. A creature deals damage equal to its power, the first number in the lower right corner. When a creature attacks, it becomes tapped or turns sideways. This shows it's been used for the turn. Your tapped cards will untap at the start of your turn. To complete this skill quest, finish off your opponent this turn.
Okay, he's got 4
For
life
each creature you want to attack
and nothing
with,
on the field.
click and drag it to your opponent.
We have the
You
potential
can
to do
attack
4
with all
damage
your
to this turn.
creatures by clicking Attack with All. After you've chosen which creatures to attack with,
So, pretty
click
much,
Confirm
we just do
Attack.
that. We swing for 4. Confirm attack. Game waits for him to respond, which he's not going to, because this is a skill quest. And we swing, and we swing, and we win.
Excellent.
If only real
Attacking
games
with
were
your
that easy.
creatures is one of the surest ways to win. In the next skill quest, you'll learn how to defend yourself from
There are ways to win other than all-out attacking. There's 5 different colors in Magic, and each one has its own strategies and methods of winning.
Your untapped creatures can block your opponent's attacking creatures. A blocked creature won't deal damage to you. Instead, it will deal damage to the creature that blocked it, and your creature will deal damage to the attacking creature. A creature is destroyed if it's dealt damage in a single turn equal to its toughness, the second number in the lower right corner. To complete this skill quest, survive your opponent's turn, and then win the game on your turn.
Okay, so here we see that when my opponent swings at me, he can do up to 8 damage. Well, we only have 6 life, so we gotta do something about that.
To block an incoming attack, click and drag one of your creatures to the attacking
So,
creature you want to block. Once
block
you've
the-
selected all the
if we block
creatures
this-
you want to block with,
I
click
won't talk over the
Confirm Block.
flipping narrator. Okay, now, see, we could block this guy, but then we'd lose, because this guy would deal us 6 damage and we'd lose. So we have to block this guy. This guy only has 1 toughness, so he's going to die regardless of who he blocks. Anyway, we have to block that guy to survive the turn, so we block that guy to survive the turn. Confirm block. He does his damage. Drops us to 4. These two do that.
Great job! By blocking the more dangerous creature, you survived the
Blah,
assault.
blah, blah.
Now it's your turn. First, play the land card you just drew. Playing more lands allows you to cast more powerful spells.
So we drop this land, and you see
Now attack
this
and
creature.
win the game.
He's got 3 and then 2 red tokens here. That means he's a 5 cost. He costs 5 mana to cast, and we get our mana from our pool of land here. Anyway, swing for 5. He can't do anything because his creatures are both tapped. So confirm attack, and dun 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 dun. If only real games of Magic were this easy to win.
Excellent. Remember, only
Seriously, I've
untapped
played
creatures can block. Now that you've seen creatures attacking and
14
blocking,
games of Magic
let's
since I
find
started
out
playing,
how to
I
summon
think,
them
and I've
to the
won
battlefield.
3. I played 5 matches before the turn, before the previous turn, and then I played 9 matches after turn, so that's 5. So that's 14 matches, and I've won 3.
To cast a spell, you need mana, the magical energy
I
produced
just
by your
explained
lands.
this.
Each of your lands produces 1 mana when it taps or turns sideways. Tapping shows a card's been used for the turn. To see a spell's mana cost, look in the top right corner of the card. For example, Elvish
just
to cast
explained all
Lightning
this.
Elemental, you need 1 red mana. Your mountain produces that. You also need 3 other mana of any kind. Any lands can be tapped to produce this 3 mana. Creatures
Anyway.
can't attack on the turn they're summoned. This is called
Well, I haven't
summoning
explained this one
sickness,
yet.
and it's indicated by a swirling effect. A creature with summoning sickness can still block incoming attacks. A few creatures have an ability called haste.
Haste is awesome.
Creatures with haste aren't affected by summoning sickness. In this skill quest, we'll start on your opponent's turn. To complete it, win the game on your next turn.
Okay, so it's his turn. He taps 2. Drops an Elvish Warrior. I don't know why it went over there. An Elvish
Your
Warrior.
Elvish
he only swings
Warrior
at 2.
can't
Thankfully,
block
that
this
one is
turn
summoning
because
sick.
it's
Otherwise,
tapped.
we'd lose right
The
now.
creature your opponent just summoned can't attack this turn, but it will be able to block on your next turn.
Okay, so he's swinging at me for 4. There's nothing I can do. My only creature is tapped. The only thing I have in my hand is another creature. And it's not letting me play non-creature spells yet anyway, so that would be useless. Okay.
You can
Now,
summon creatures
draw a
to the
card.
battlefield from your hand by casting creature spells. To cast a spell in your hand, click on it.
Okay. Here's our situation. Okay, we have an Elvish Warrior on the field right now. That costs 2 green mana, meaning you need 2 forests, and is a 2/3. If I attack with this, he will block with that. This Elvish Warrior will kill that Elvish Warrior, and this Elvish Warrior will kill that Elvish Warrior. So they'll go down together and will make no headway whatsoever. I can cast this and win. No, I can't. Scratch that. This thing would be summoning sick, so I can't do that. On the other hand, this Lightning Elemental, which I would have to tap all of my land to cast, has haste, which means it can attack this turn, which would be very, very, very nice. He's only got 1 creature he can block with. The AI is probably going to block this guy, but then this guy will get through and will win. So, why is it going over there? I have no idea. I don't understand why it's going over there. Anyway, this guy has haste, so we can swing with him. So we swing for 4, and swing for 2 more. He will probably block the elemental, and then the Elvish Warrior's damage will get through, and we'll win. Right, game? Yep, exactly what I expected.
Well done.
Those two
All your
traded.
tapped cards, including lands and creatures, will untap at the start of your next turn, ready to be used again.
Seriously. Oh, wow, that is a crazy
For
awesome
completing
picture.
this skill quest, you've earned some coins. After you finish Gideon's campaign, you can spend coins in the store to purchase booster packs containing new cards for your collection.
Okay, now we can finally get into the story mode. So we've got 5 campaigns here for what I would honestly say are probably the 5 most popular planeswalkers in the game. Gideon here, who's white. Jace is blue. There's one of them for each color of magic. So Gideon uses white, Jace uses blue, Liliana uses black, Chandra uses red, and Nissa uses green. And each color has kind of its own strategy. White is about getting out a whole bunch of little creatures and just overrunning your opponent, maybe making your creature stronger with spells. White is the color I play the most often, and that happened honestly by chance. All 3 of the decks I currently have white in them. So that's kind of the color I play the most often. Blue is probably the color I play the second most often. The deck I'm primarily using right now is a white-blue dual color deck. Blue is all about controlling the field. Lots of spells that can tap your opponent's, force your opponent to tap his creatures, counter spells, which we'll get into later. lots of control stuff, and I actually kind of like doing that. Black, I do not like playing black. I have one deck with a little bit of black in it, and I just don't like doing it. Black is all about kind of manipulating your graveyard. When a card dies or a spell has been used, it goes to the graveyard, and black has a whopping crap ton of creatures and spells that let you bring cards back from the graveyard, or creatures that deal damage when they die, stuff like that. It's kind of morbid, black's main strategy, and I don't like it at all. Red is extremely aggressive. Got a lot of there's a lot of spells in red that deal direct damage to your opponent. And when I first learned how to learned what each color in Magic does, I thought the color I would most enjoy playing is red. Well, now, a month and a half after I started playing Magic, 3 decks to my name, the one color I have never played is red. So yeah, that happened kind of ironically. Green, the last color down here, is all about growth. Getting out a few creatures, making them really, really big, really, really fast, and just wrecking house in your opponent's life total. Green's fun too. The deck I made at the pre-release tournament was a green deck. By the way, the pre-release tournament I'm referring to was the pre-release party for the next set of cards, which officially drops on Friday, I believe. So, and also this game is getting DLC to go with that. If I remember correctly, the DLC actually drops tomorrow. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me putting the DLC out before the set officially drops, but oh well, that's the way they decided to do it, that's the way they decided to do it, and who am I to say any different? Anyway, we're going to jump into the first campaign here, play the first round. Unfortunately, they kind of use white as a tutorial campaign, which is a bit annoying because it makes white it kind of oversimplifies white, and I don't really like that because white is currently probably my favorite color to play. Anyway, to dive into Gideon's campaign. Before you took the name Gideon Jura, you were Kytheon Iora, a 13-year-old kid from the slums of Akros on the plain of Theros. You possess a strong sense of justice, and your magic makes you resilient to physical harm. This combination leads you to speak more with actions than with words. So, let's dive in. Theros is actually, I was not, it came out, the Theros set came out several years ago, and I was not a player of Magic when that happened, but I really wish I had been, because the entire plane is based around Greek mythology, and I love Greek mythology, so I wish I had been around been a Magic player during that time. Anyway, you lead a small group of street toughs known as Kytheon's Irregulars. Together you act as a force for justice and charity in the slums. While raiding an Akroan estate for food, you draw the attention of the city guards. And then shit happens. I should not have just said that word, and then crap happens. Anyway, start duel. Again, all of these background pictures are card art. And I just have to say that the artists employed by Wizards of the Coast are crazy good at what they do. Although, I was reading something about, I was reading an article on the Wizards of the Coast website not that long ago that was talking about misunderstandings between the development team and the artists, or incidents when the artists didn't really understand fantasy. Maybe I'll share one of those stories later on. Okay, first duel time. And we get to use white. I love white. Hopefully we actually get to show off what white does. Cards below and you'll be able to use them. Bloody. Okay, we got 3 lands in our first hand. 2 Elite Vanguards, which are 1-drop creatures. Yes, please. And 2 Glorious Seekers, which are 2-drop creatures. Unfortunately, the hands you draw in the white campaign are not random. They are preset. If it was random, I doubt I would have a hand this good. I have an extremely bad luck with getting good hands right off the bat. I was playtesting one of my decks last night. I drew my first hand of 7 cards. I had 3 lands and a bunch of spells and no creatures. And I said, I don't want to keep this. So I put it back in the deck, reshuffled my deck, drew another hand of 7 cards. No land. 7 creatures and spells, not a single land. So of course I threw that hand away. Then I drew another hand, this time of 6 cards, because the third hand you draw is 1 card less. 5 land and a 5 drops, and a spell that costs 5 mana. I ended up playing that because I wanted to see if I could make it work. It turns out I couldn't. It took me way too many turns. Anyway, drop a land. I just looked at that. And then we'll drop one of these guys. Why is it going over there? I don't understand that. It makes me think I clicked the wrong button and it's going to the graveyard for some reason. Can't attack a creature to cast it this turn. You know, don't show again. I should have hit that the first time. Anyway, okay, what's dropping a land, of course. And does he not have a turn 1? He does not have a turn 1. Okay, and then we have an Oresco Swiftclaw, which is a 2-drop, 3/1, 2 mana. Drop another Plains. And I could drop one of these. I could drop any creature in my hand right now. I'm gonna drop Glory Seeker. I don't wanna know why it's going over there. I don't understand that. Anyway, he has no creatures, so I might as well swing. Another Plains, and... Okay, he's got a Glory Seeker of his own. It's going... The reason it's lingering for a second is because if this was... Play skill quest? No thanks. If this was standard Magic, there are lots and lots of spells in the game called counter spells that could send that card back to his hand or to the graveyard or whatever. Okay. I'm gonna drop the Swiftclaw this time. Oh, and I can drop one of these. Do I want to drop one of these? There's no reason for me to hang on to mana at this point. It's not like I don't have any spells in my... I don't have any non-creature spells in my hand that I could theoretically use to balance something. Okay, I'm gonna swing here. He's gonna block. He's only got 1 to block, so I better swing with both. I'll lose 1. If he blocks this guy, we trade. If he blocks this guy, I lose my creature, and he doesn't, so he'll probably block this guy. That's what I'm guessing is going to happen. Block step. He blocks the bigger one, so these two are going to trade. That was not the move I would have made there. Traveling Philosopher. Another 2/2. And of course he drops the land and a Valiant Guard, which does not have power. That's very good. That means it can't do damage to me, can't do damage to my creatures, but it can block. So basically that thing is incapable of killing any of my creatures. I presume if this was a game of full-on magic, it would have Defender, which just means the card can't attack. There's no reason why you would want to attack with that anyway, because it has 0 power. Drop Plains. Eagle of the Watch. This thing has... Flying and Vigilance, get your butt on this field. See how it's floating here? I'll explain what that means in a minute. Okay, let's see. Game's telling me to attack with all. Do I actually want to do that? Okay, this guy can block, but he can't actually kill any of my creatures. This guy can only block one. So... yeah, I'm gonna swing with all, and then I will explain. And then once that's done, I will explain what flying and vigilance mean. Okay, he's blocking these. This one... okay, damage goes off. These two will trade. These two will do their damage, but nothing will actually happen. Okay, now what flying means... flying means is what it says right there. This creature can't be blocked except by other creatures with flying or creatures with what's called reach. Most creatures with reach are green. There are a few in other colors, but most creatures with reach are green. So we're good there, I think. Vigilance, exactly what it says there. Attacking doesn't cause this creature to tap, which basically means that the thing can attack and block on the same turn. Which is very, very nice. I did not get any more land. So... I want something with more toughness. Dropping him. And actually, I could drop this guy too. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to drop this guy too. This is white. It's about getting out as many creatures as possible. Okay. That guy cannot kill any of my creatures. So if I swing with these... okay, the flyer's guaranteed to get through. Then if I swing with the two elite vanguards, that's 4 damage guaranteed to get through. And then I'll have 2 things to block with next time. Okay, he's blocking that guy. Who will not be able to kill that guy because he has no power. So... and my Eagle of the Watch doesn't tap! I love having a creature with vigilance on the field. I have 1 creature with vigilance in one of my decks, but because it costs 7 mana, I've never actually been able to get it on the field. So I've never actually gotten to use a creature with vigilance. I love having one, you have no idea how much I love having one on the field. Okay, my turn. You cannot attack. Another Eagle of the Watch. Get your butt on this field. Vigilance rocks, guys. Vigilance freaking rocks. Okay. Eagle of the Watch guaranteed to get through with that 2 damage. Then he can block 2. Probably block the Swift Claw. And then that 0/3 will block 1, but can't actually kill anything. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I still have 20 health, so I still have 20 life, so I'm not at all scared about taking this risk. Guys, I have 2 flyers of vigilance on my side. This is awesome. Okay, putting in another traveling philosopher. And why did he not attack me? I don't understand. Why did he not attack me? I do not understand why he did not just attack me. That traveling philosopher would have killed whatever I had blocked it with. I have no idea why he just did that. Oh, that's why he didn't attack. I had summoning sickness. Doy, I didn't see the little spiral spinning around on the card. I actually feel like kind of an idiot right now. Anyway, swing with the 2 eagles, and that will be enough to win the game. And he's got no way of stopping these guys because they're flyers. So, honestly, I don't see any reason to attack with more than I have to. If this was a real game of Magic, I'd probably only be swinging with my flyers, because they're flyers, they have vigilance, so they won't tap because I attacked with them. And if he did have something, and even though I know he doesn't because the white can't, because This is the tutorial campaign. This is the first match of the first campaign, and they haven't introduced instants or sorceries or enchantments yet. I know he doesn't have any spells in his hand that could kill these guys, but if this is a real game of Magic, I wouldn't want to take that chance because he has 3 untapped mana. So, I'm only sticking with these 2. And dun-dun-dun. And we get 10 points. Use your opponent's life total to 10 or less quarters at turn. Frenzy. Starting on your 3rd turn attacks every turn until you ward. I feel like I kind of just played a white deck like with a red deck, but oh well, I guess. You fight your way out of your hideout, but you realize continued resistance will put your friends at risk. You lay down your weapons and the guards call you off to the dungeons. You are sentenced to 10 years for thievery. Ouch. And now we could jump into the next round, but I think I've already been recording for longer than I would have liked because dang skill quests! So I'm gonna end this off here. I'm really enjoying this series already, guys. Anyway, if you enjoyed this episode in any capacity, head over to my YouTube channel, the JazzieNerd. Check out some of my other videos. If you enjoyed those, hit the subscribe button down below because it's a big help. Also, I have asked my father to get me a webcam. Hopefully he will have a webcam for me before I complete this series, because I would really like you guys to kind of see my face while I do this, especially when we get into a couple of later campaigns. Once you get done with the 5 campaigns for each one for each 5 campaigns, 1 for each color, 1 for each planeswalker, then you get into the DLC campaigns, which are campaigns that kind of align with the story for each recent set. I may have to download those separately. I don't know if I have them currently, but I do intend to do them. And the story of one of those campaigns, I have this funny feeling it's going to make me tear up, because it's already made me tear up once. So I kind of want to have a webcam on myself when I do, so you can see it, and you can say, well, okay, so if you guys watch this Sunday, it won't be the first time you see me cry in a video. I kind of want to have a camera on myself when I play through that campaign, because I know I'm going to get emotional, and it's just going to be that much more enjoyable if you can see my face. Anyway, I'm going to end this, as I already said, I'm going to end this off here. If you enjoyed this episode... No. I will be back here tomorrow with another episode of this. Until then, stay jazzy. Ay, 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 that was way too hard to say. Bye, guys.